Okay, so what is winter sowing? Winter sowing is simply just a method of germinating seeds, basically. Where the whole point is, it's simple. It gets these plants out of your house, so it's an awesome starting method if you don't have a lot of space. It also grows strong, hardy, acclimated seedlings. Winter sowing is a really, really simple method. And I honestly think it's so simple that people try to complicate it because it is just ridiculously simple. That it's basically, we're trying to mimic outdoor conditions when starting our seeds. So this works for quite a bit of varieties. I mean, I heard of people, they do peppers and tomatoes and even like vine crops. And I've even heard of people starting carrots this way. I don't really have any interest of doing like root vegetables this way, or even melons and stuff. I usually just kind of direct sow those out in the garden later in spring, and those germinate really well for me. But I thought this is a really cool method to try for perennial type flowers, annual flowers too, and lots of different vegetables as well. Why winter sow? Well, one of the biggest reasons I honestly think is because by starting our seeds outside, it eliminates the need for a whole growing system inside your house. So you don't need the shelves and the grow lights, which is an investment. By getting the seeds outside, you just don't have that in your house. Along those same lines is just saving space. If you have a smaller house, you may just not have a great place to set up a growing shelf. So this way you just don't need any of that. It's all outside your house. What kind of container should you use for this? Simply anything clear or opaque works really well. The point is, the light needs to get into the container. I'm gonna go through this. It's very simple. Don't complicate it. Today, I'm just using a milk jug. I've rinsed it out. I've thrown the lid away already because, again, don't need it. So these work awesome. See, this is opaque. It's not completely clear. Not a problem. Seeds will get what they need. So first step is we need to cut this. We're gonna cut it in half and make it kind of like a lid where you can like open the whole thing. And then we'll put the soil in, we'll moisten it, we'll stick some drain holes in, and then we'll put our seeds in. Okay, I did add drain holes. I forgot to kind of show that. You can see I've got like 4. That's fine. I did rinse this one more time. I, of course, had rinsed it earlier, but now that I had it opened, I was able to rinse it out really, really good. So next, we will go get the soil in just regular potting mix. So what I'm gonna start today is a perennial flower. It's a native, but this is also an herb, and like I said, it's native. It's really cool. So here's the name. You guys can see that. There we go. Common name, what I found, I kind of Googled it, it's called inside out flower. It kind of has this little head of flower that hangs over and almost looks like the petals kind of go back instead of like kind of out forward. They're really, really pretty. And like I said, they're a good woodland plant. So again, native perennial flowers do really good with this method. So I'm excited to try these. So I actually Googled this so much and I could not find somewhere that told me if this needed light to germinate or if it needed covered. So I'm kind of looking at the seeds here and I think, you know what? I think what I'll do is I will lightly cover them. So I'm not gonna, really push them down in the soil or anything like that. I'm just gonna sprinkle them on and then sprinkle a little bit of the soil on top. So usually if I Google it, I can find out. But as you can see, this seed packet, there's just not a whole lot here. Notice with these, it talked a lot about how they needed a really a long cold period, like 6 to 8 weeks, and then a gradual warm up. And honestly, that's really hard to recreate inside of your house. Something else I do want to mention is it's important not to overcrowd your containers. They just seem to do a lot better if you can spread them out. So try to use the whole surface of the container, spread them out. That will help you a lot more, especially when you go to plant them out and you need to separate them. It's gonna be a lot easier, and the seedlings just do a lot better when they're not just all like in the middle on top of each other. Guys, that's pretty much it. Simple, and just keep it simple. There's a Winter Sowers group on Facebook. Really great information, but there's so many people you can just see trying to make it so much more complicated than it is. This is it. This is really, really cool. If you haven't seen this before, maybe you're like me. When I first heard about it, I just thought, how neat is that, I like it. I have about 10 jugs outside right now. This would be like number 11. I definitely am gonna start more, let's just be honest. Probably through February, I'll start. I have lots more flower seeds. Something else I do wanna say is, so I used just regular Sharpie on these, and after about 4 weeks or so outside, they do start to fade. No, I don't have that many jugs out there that I can't go out there every 4 weeks and just touch them up. If you're doing a lot of jugs, people sometimes will just put numbers on them and then also put something inside, like a little plastic tag with the name and stick it inside. People do that as well. This works for me because I just don't start that many, so I can just touch them up like this one. So I was outside checking them, and as you can see, it's starting to wear off a little bit. So like I said, before I go outside and put these outside, I'm just going to touch that one up.